Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. Primetime Sunday Night Football. Dolphins are in Foxborough to play the Patriots. Line is currently New England plus 2.5 as I'm recording this. Total sitting at 46.5. Let's do it.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Source. Hey, get the Source.
So this line was at 2.5 early in the week, but the early action was coming in all over the Dolphins, caused the line to move up to 3, but when it hit 3, the sharps started hammering New England, and as a result, we're now back down to 2.5 on most books. This is a line we're going to have to keep our eye on. So let's break down what we saw last week, and if you have the Red Zone channel, you already know what the Dolphins did, because they were flipping to that game every 5 seconds. Tua threw for 466 yards. He completed 14 passes of 15 or more yards, which is crazy. Tyreek Hill went absolutely ballistic, 215 yards and 2 touchdowns on 11 catches. Entering the game, we were wondering which Tua was going to show up, right? Was it going to be the first half of the season Tua that led the NFL in EPA per play and passer rating, or was it going to be second half of the season Tua that was 30th or below in both those categories? Well, we got our answer. I mean, just look at the difference in the last 2 matchups with the Chargers. This is night and day here. And the one on the left, that's week 14 of last year, that's against an injured Chargers defense too. No J.C. Jackson, no Joey Bosa. Last week, he played a fully healthy Chargers defense that went absolutely nuts. I think it's safe to say that Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins offense are officially back. But did we see enough to now lay points on the road in Gillette? Because there are a couple concerns. First one being, I really don't know what to think about the Chargers defense anymore. I mean, how many excuses can we make for Brandon Staley? He's brought in his coach, supposed to be this defensive mastermind. Where? I'm not seeing it, because this Chargers defense hasn't been good. Now, first, they didn't have the pieces. Okay, they went and go spend a record amount of money in free agency, bolstering up that defense. Oh, now they were injured. Okay, they were bad again, but they were injured last year. Well, last week, they're fully healthy. He's got all his pieces, and they got lit the hell up. So I'm seriously questioning Brandon Staley and the Chargers defense right now. This is a different kind of beast. This is the Patriots defense in New England. We saw what this defense did last week against Philadelphia. They held the Eagles to just 251 total yards, almost 150 yards less than their average per game last year. Jalen Hurts didn't do much of anything through the air. Just a reminder in case you forgot. The Patriots defense, they had a top 5 pass rush last year. They were 5th in adjusted sack rate, 6th in pressure rate. They also were 2nd in pass defense DVOA. So they were the 2nd highest rated pass defense in the entire NFL. And it looks like we're going to see something similar this year. So let's talk explosive plays. Now, first off, an explosive play is defined as a run of 12 or more yards or a completed pass for 16 or more yards. Dolphins had a shitload of them last week against the Chargers, who were 30th in the NFL last year in allowing explosive plays. Patriots defense allowed just 1 explosive play all game last week. And by the way, speaking of Tyreek Hill, Bill Belichick's been able to hold this dude in check. In his last 5 matchups against Bill Belichick, Tyreek Hill is averaging just 63.4 receiving yards per game, and he's only scored 1 total touchdown in all 5 games. So New England's defense hasn't had a problem with this guy. But there's a big question mark here. A huge reason why the Patriots have had success holding Tyreek Hill down is their lightning fast corner Jonathan Jones. Check this out. Jonathan Jones has played 6 career games against Tyreek Hill. He's only allowed 7 catches for 88 yards on 16 targets to Hill. So this dude plays Hill tough. The reason I'm mentioning it, Jonathan Jones was not listed on the injury report to start the week, right? Then Thursday, he was downgraded to a light practice. Then Friday, he didn't even practice, and now he's listed as questionable. This dude might not play in this game. New England really needs him on the field. But overall, with or without Jonathan Jones, this Patriots defense does match up well against Miami. I mean, what is the weakness of the Patriots defense? You'd have to say stopping the run, right? I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a weakness. They were 9th in run defense last year. 9th in the NFL is hardly weak. Miami's run game didn't really do anything last week. Just 20 carries for 70 yards. That's 3.5 yards per carry. And this was against the Chargers, a team that was 31st in defending the run last year. So New England's defense could be in great shape. They just need Jonathan Jones on the field. Now let's flip it around and talk about the Dolphins defense. And this is where things get weird. So last season, Dolphins defense was one-sided as hell. According to DVOA ratings, they were 15th overall, 25th against the pass, and 4th against the run. So they were very good against the run, but terrible against the pass. In week 1, they played Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and LA scores 34 points. So you're thinking, oh, Justin Herbert probably went off. No, not at all, actually. The Chargers had just 200 yards passing. They ran the ball all over the Dolphins. 233 yards on the ground in that game. Austin Eckler had 117 yards and a touchdown. Joshua Kelly had 91 yards and a touchdown. They were slamming the ball between the tackles on this Dolphins defense. Now they got to deal with New England's run game, and the Patriots are going to be looking to get back on track in that department. Just 76 yards on 3.5 yards to carry against Philly in week 1. But to be honest, the reason I find this matchup so weird, I just feel like there's two huge question marks next to both of these units, the Dolphins defense and the Patriots offense. New England's got Bill O'Brien calling the plays now, so I expect the Patriots to be throwing the ball a lot more this season. We saw the offense he ran with Deshaun Watson in Houston. We saw the offense he ran with Bryce Young in Alabama. Mac Jones dropped back to pass 54 times in week 1. So I expect New England to be throwing the ball this year. And on the other side, Miami defense, now we got Vic Fangio running that unit. Last year, they were good against the run, terrible against the pass. In week 1, we saw them get lit up on the ground by a Chargers team that didn't even run the ball last year. None of this makes sense. So as far as what to expect between the Patriots offense and the Dolphins defense, we're going to have to watch and see, man. I will bring up the splits, though. Miami's defense on the road last year was absolute piss. At home, they were second in points per game, second in yards per game, top 10 in third down and red zone. On the road, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. As we know, this one's on the road in Foxborough. As far as what I'm personally betting, I can tell you right now I'm betting the over. It's at 46.5. I think that's low. I expect New England to score points in this game, and obviously we know what the Dolphins offense can do. So I'm going to take the over at 46.5. As far as betting aside, I know that there's a ton of sharps, a ton of pros out there taking the Patriots in this matchup. At 2.5, I think the value's on Miami, so I want to wait and see what the line does. I also want to see the status of Jonathan Jones before I make a final decision. So we'll revisit this on the live show tomorrow morning. But as of right now, I'd say I'm leaning Miami minus 2.5. If you want my top bets, parlays of the day, if you want to join the Discord, or if you want to give in the NFL Against the Spread giveaway contest, head over to KyleKirms.com. All the info's right there on the homepage. NFL Week 2, we got another football Sunday here. Remember to bet responsibly, and hopefully I'll see you in the comments on the live show, 11 a.m. Eastern Time.